Everyone, this is Frank from Apple One-to-One. Today we're going to go over the Voice Memo application on the iPad. The icon for that is a black icon with a red and white WAV file on the front. So let's open it up, and it will open to any other recordings that you have on here. Now, on the left-hand pane, this is our Finder pane. If you go down to the bottom, on the left, you'll see there's a folder with a plus sign. If you hit that, it's going to allow you to create folders. So you can create a folder, we'll just call it test. Let's say you wanted to do one because you're going to use this for conversations with your doctor. You're going to use it for maybe corporate meetings. So, and then if, let's say you're a construction worker or a building person, you may want to do this for job estimates. Now you have your folders created. You can just tap on a folder, and when you want to start a recording, you just hit that red button. So it will default to a default name, which is based on where your iPad is. So it's going to give you an address or whatever. It's going to give you a name. You can then talk about whatever you're doing on this particular job, since we opened it in the job estimate folder. Something to the effect like, okay, our floor one area is 22 by 25 feet, and then we're going to add 9 feet by 22 feet, and that's going to give us approximately 800 square feet of flooring that we'll need. It can be either carpeting, it could be vinyl planking, whatever the customer wants. We'll have to discuss that and show them the options. At this point, you can hit the pause button, and when you hit the pause button, you notice that button then turns to red and says resume. So if there's a pause in a meeting, or you're talking to the customer or whatever, you hit pause. Then when you hit start, or resume, it's going to start up again, and you can continue on with your conversation. When you're done, just off to the right, hit the done button. It then takes that recording and puts it into the folder. Now, if you hit the icon at the top, that's going to close that. It's going to give you a larger format to deal with. If the name of the file is something you want to change, you just tap on it and put in whatever you want. We'll call this test 9, return. Now it changes your file to test 9. That's the name of it. So what are some of the things that you can do? Let's talk about the icons immediately at the top. The first is, you're familiar with, is your share icon. You could take this recording and airdrop it to any other people that were in the meeting that were there through Wi-Fi. You can attach it to a text message and send it to people. You can attach it to an email or to a note that you have. You can also copy it. You can edit the recording, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You can duplicate it, mark it as a favorite, move it to a folder if you happen to start it in the wrong folder, and you can save it to your files folder. All of those options are available to you. Next is the heart. If you hit the heart, it's just going to make it a favorite. If you hit the folder, it's going to say, what folder do you want to put it in? And at this point, let's say you wanted to move it to test 5. Tap it, open up, go to test 5, there's your folder and your job. Tap on it, it's going to open it up again. If you delete it, hit the trash can, it's going to delete it. That is going to put it into the recently deleted folder. You can hit edit, tap on it, and recover or delete. Now, this is just like any other trash folder. It will age them off after so long. Or you can go in, highlight them, and delete all of them. In this case, we're going to hit recover recording. It's going to put it back into the folder that you deleted it from. In this case, test 5. Some of the features that you can do here, if you hit those 3 lines there on the right-hand side, you can speed it up, skip silence, a very nice feature, because what you can do, you turn that on, and any pause in the WAV file, it'll skip and it'll go. If you have background noise, you can turn on enhance recording. So now when we play it, So it will default to a default name, which is based on where your iPad is. So it's going to give you an address or whatever. It's going to give you a name. You can then talk about whatever you're doing on this particular job. So you can see how the speech was speeded up and it got rid of all the pauses. So we're just going to come back here and we're just going to hit reset. The next, if you hit edit, you're going to come in here and hit that icon again. You're going to see that the WAV file has a yellowish background to it. And down the bottom, you have these two arrows. So you have a couple of options here. You notice that they're grayed out right now, but you have trim and delete on the left-hand side and save on the right-hand side. So if you use two fingers on your iPad and you can spread this out so that, let's say, I wanted to delete this portion right here, from here to here. So let's see if we can do that. So how we can do that is drag this yellow one over to where you say you wanted to start deleting. And then the other one, you can go on the right-hand side and drag this all the way over. Let's see if it'll, because it's kind of sensitive. So you see here, I don't think we can make it any larger. So there are some limitations. For example, we wanted to delete this portion. Then you would hit delete. And now, when you play this, that portion will be missing, which is all the way at the beginning. So if we hit it, so to a default name, which is based on where you see, this is the part that we deleted. Now, if you hit cancel, then you're going to be back to where you were, and that everything will be intact. But you can trim it. So what that means is you're going to take this little yellow line, pull it in, and hit trim. Now the beginning of your recording is going to start there. You can also go to the end and let's see, we don't really have any blank space at the end, but if I wanted to bring it into, let's say, here, all right, hit trim, then hit, come back over here, we'll just play here, is that right? And then that's how you would do that. So you have a couple of functions, edit, then again, and so you have your trim and your delete. It's very, very handy, especially if you're doing, like I said, job estimates, corporate meetings, and you don't have to take notes. You can come back and get pieces of information that you may need at a later date without paging through notes. Just listen through it. You can speed it up, like I said, get rid of, if you speed it up, get rid of the silence. That's going to give you a lot of options in terms of playback. All right, hope this was useful, and let us know in the comments. Thank you.